And this breaking news, two 13-year-old girls are missing from Carroll County this morning.
They disappeared yesterday afternoon in what we're told is a treacherous area just outside of Delphi.
There's the suspect approaching the girls. Libby's phone is out, taking the video, with her best friend Abby at her side.
Whoa, slow down. Sticks are placed on the bodies of the two victims here, and they're not collected as evidence?
They were not collected as evidence until several weeks later, conceivably when this Odinism stuff started to arise within the investigation.
And Ben and Julia, this is a story, these pictures you will see online today as you wake up and look through your feed, because everyone who knows these two young women is desperately hoping to find them. This is the entrance here to the trail.
Random as being the letter F, a rune painted in blood.
Blood, right?
That was tested according to the memo. It's Libby's blood, according to the memo.
That's what the defense is saying.
Yes.
In a world inundated with information, I embarked on a quest for knowledge, scouring YouTube for answers about the Delphi murder case that has puzzled many. Hours turned into days as I clicked on video after video, hoping to find clarity on the subject. Yet my journey was met with frustration, as I couldn't stumble upon a single comprehensive video that would explain the story thus far. Driven by a thirst for understanding and a desire to share the truth, I decided to take matters into my own hands. I wanted to create a single all-encompassing video that would serve as a beacon of knowledge and briefly shed light on the details in this case. In this video, I will give a brief overview of the Delphi murders. So if you're like me and lost in this case and don't know what's going on, join me on this voyage of discovery to reveal the truth that so many have been seeking. And so it begins. In 2017, on the evening before Valentine's Day, two 13-year-old girls went missing after walking alongside a hiking trail named Monon High Bridge in Delphi, Indiana. Now I know what you're thinking. Why would two 13-year-old girls be walking alone along this isolated path? I'll answer that later. They were supposed to meet with a family member to pick them up on the opposite end of the trail. However, when that family member got there, they weren't there to pick them up. This set off a frantic search that ended the next day when the girls' bodies were discovered.
Where they were last seen. We know family members have been out here for hours. Right now, though, the search has been suspended while it's been dark. Police, though, telling us they do plan to pick it back up in the morning. But right now, no one knows where these two 13-year-olds are.
There were concerns about how two girls could go missing from a community with a population the size of in high school. 2 days after the murder, both bodies were identified to be 13-year-old Abigail Williams and Liberty German. Police suspected foul play was involved due to the nature of the bodies. FBI agents noted that pieces of clothing from one of the victims was removed, and it appeared the girls' bodies were moved and staged. There were also no signs of struggle or fight. They recovered some fibers and hairs from the scene and suspected that the killer took a souvenir to memorialize the crime scene with pictures. Later that day, German's phone was found nearby, and on it were pictures of this man who seemed to be walking the opposite direction of the two girls. Police believe this was the suspected killer in this case.
Take a good look at this man. He is the person police are looking to get information from in the murder of two teenage girls in Delphi. Right now, police are not saying he's a suspect or even a person of interest, but they do want to talk with him.
Investigators started to look into a 77-year-old man named Ronald Logan, who lived at his property for over 50 years. His property was just 1,400 feet or 4 football fields away from where the girls' bodies were discovered. FBI agents speculated about his possible involvement in the murders and got permission to search his home for possible clues. The search on his home noted he had numerous weapons, including handguns and knives. He also appeared to give a statement to the news wearing a similar jacket from the suspected photo. Women who knew Logan were interviewed and stated he was very violent to them in the past. They also stated his voice is not inconsistent with that of the person in the video, which is a video that was taken by one of the girls that I'll show you later. The warrant also revealed that Logan lied about his alibi. Logan stated he was picked up by a friend to go to the aquarium store on February 13th between 2 and 2:30 p.m. He spoke to a family member the following morning, instructing them to tell cops that he returned home between 5 and 5:30 p.m. Logan's friend confirmed the trip to police, but later admitted that he lied.
He claimed he had an alibi, buying tropical fish 20 miles away.
I was not home during the time that all this was happening. I was in Lafayette.
Cell phone tower data also showed Logan's phone had been in the Delphi area near the trail around the same time the murders took place. Then, Logan died in 2020 and was never officially named a suspect. Then on February 22nd, police released this audio from one of the girls' phone in which you hear a man say, "Down the hill."
Downhill. 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 Downhill.
Turns out one of the victims took this picture of a suspect and captured his voice before she was murdered. Police say that's the voice of a suspect saying 3 words, "Down the hill."
Despite thousands of tips and assistance, months passed and there were no arrests. Then on July 17th, police released their first sketch of a suspect. The announcement sounded as if they weren't sure this is their guy. It almost seemed as if they were pressured to come up with a drawing of some man to set the public at ease.
It's basically just a clear picture of his face compared to what you saw down below. We've got the information out there, the pictures out there. Now we got this composite that we feel that is the same. We feel it is the same person, and we just want to make sure that people realize that that picture is this person. We're hoping.
Then months later in September, the families went on Dr. Oz, demanding answers that they weren't getting from the local police.
Grandfather Mike Patty said that to protect their investigation, police have not told even him details of the crime.
There's one other person out there that's going to know that, and if they keep that stuff close to their vest, that'll help them to kind of weed that information out and be able to figure out exactly who that is when it comes down to the...
You need to look at the facts and not try to pin it on somebody that it's
1 year later from the murders, on February 13, 2018, there were still no updates on the case. It was starting to seem like the case was going cold. Then a second year passed without any updates, and eventually months after, on April 22nd, 2019, police updated the sketch, which was significantly different from the first one. This new sketch man looked younger, had curly hair, and no facial hair.
Brand new sketch released today is the man who killed Abby Williams and Libby German in Delphi, Indiana.
It's been more than 2 years since the girls were murdered. So police today also sharing for the very first time more audio and more video that they got from Libby's cell phone.
Police stated the suspect is between 18 and 40 years old.
Investigators say the suspect is likely between 18 and 40 years old, might look younger than his real age, and they believe he's still close by.
I doubt this guy is 18 years old. The public was left confused. During the conference, police superintendent stated that the killer was likely in the conference room.
To the killer, who may be in this room. We believe you are hiding in plain sight.
Yeah, it is strange. We went from that sketch to this one, and he's younger. And the other one, he was older.
We've always been looking for someone that looked older.
The last time
He just seemed older than this, so I'm hoping now that maybe they'll be able to catch whoever did it. Maybe this is a little bit closer to the real murder.
Fast forward to 2021, 4 years after the murder, and still no arrest. Until December 2021, police announced a break in the case. A fake social media account named Anthony_Shots was found to have communicated with German shortly before the killings.
They believe this person was essentially catfishing underage girls, trying to get nude photos of them, their addresses, even meet up with them. So I want you to take a look. Indiana State Police shared these pictures from a profile called Anthony_Shots.
The account linked back to a man who lived 30 minutes away and was suspected for a child pornography case. Could this be why the girls were walking down that trail?
Klein has been held in the Miami County Jail for over a year and a half now on 30 charges of child
pornography and exploitation. Investigators say he used the fake Anthony Schott social media profile to communicate with underage girls and receive sexually explicit images. Police interviewed Klein at the time of his arrest in August 2020. They questioned him in that interview about another school-aged girl that gave her address to the Anthony Schott's profile just after the Delphi murders. Klein knew the girl in Galveston personally. The police told Klein that she comes home from school, sees this guy with a ski mask looking in her bedroom window, directly after giving this address to Anthony Schott's. As a matter of fact, that's the incident that started everything else last time. That's how everything started last time, was that incident. And Kagan replied, "That's crazy." Police searched the home in Peru in Miami County, where Klein lived with his father. They found over 100 photos and videos of underage girls on several electronic devices.
Then on October 26, law enforcement arrested someone, but he wasn't 18. He was a 50-year-old man named Richard Allen of Delphi. Allen pleaded not guilty, but is currently being held without bond. On November 22, 2022, a special hearing was held on whether to publicly release the probable cause affidavit. The judge, Benjamin Diner, granted a motion from the prosecutor to not release the probable cause affidavit to the public. That same judge later recused himself from the case, stating his worry for his staff and the public's bloodlust for information in which he couldn't provide. A special judge stepped in, and Allen's defense attorney asked the new judge to release the affidavit because his team was not impressed with the lack of evidence inside of the document. During that same hearing, prosecutor Nicholas McClellan revealed that he believed others may be involved. Eventually, the judge ordered that she will release the probable cause affidavit. Since this is a small town of about 2,800 people, Allen's attorney filed a motion to change venues in order to receive a fair trial. So how did they figure that Richard Allen was their suspect? Police stated that there was an unfired bullet 2 feet away from Libby's body at the crime scene. They linked that same bullet to a gun that Allen owns. Allen insisted that he had no idea how that unfired bullet got there, and he stated he did not allow anyone to use his firearm. He also volunteered to go to the Indiana State Police Office to let them know where he was and what he saw. He admitted he was there around that time to see the fish, and stated seeing 3 girls instead of 2. So here we are. Fast forward to today. There's discussions about how the bodies were staged and has connections to Odinism. The reason for this is because of the items and the positions of those items on top of the girls. I'll get into my thoughts on that in the next video.
There's the suspect approaching the girls. Libby's phone is out, taking the video, with her best friend Abby at her side.
Allen is currently awaiting trial, which has been moved to October 2024, with new defense attorneys after his previous ones were removed from the case by the judge. There's many more complex issues in this case that need to be discussed. However, this is a basic overview of the case, and I don't want to overwhelm you. You should be caught up with everything so far. What do you think will be the outcome of this case? Did they get the right guy? Is this part of some sort of ritual Odinism? If so, who's involved? Thanks for watching. Casper West here, signing out.